My friends, sometimes I'm stupid and I don't play something I should play. My buddy Lee Setzer let me borrow this little VOX, pretty cool little amp here. What's it called? An MV50. It's the boutique version of the MV50, which I've seen these things around before, but never thought that they'd be any good. Boy, am I wrong. It sounds great. I plugged this thing up. Right now I've got the volume turned wide open here, you can see. I've got the tone midway up and I've got the gain on the middle. I'm playing an Ibanez. I believe this is what's called the AGS 83B is what this one is. And so immediately when I first heard this, I said, that sounds kind of tubey in a way, doesn't it? What you're hearing is that direct into the board. I think I have got a little bit of reverb on the board going into a Zoom live track. I have no other outboard pedals at all. I do have some connected up here so I can throw some stuff on the front end of this. But right now you're just hearing the clean sound coming out. This is a boutique. I'm here to tell you that sounds pretty nice. That's a good clean sound, and it dirties up. You have to hit it with the gain pretty hard. So I'm not sure which boutique amp that this is modeling. It's not actually. It actually has a tube in it. It does have a thing called a new tube, which is a sort of a mini kind of tube that's in there. But you're actually getting tube sound out of this thing. So. Pretty nice. In the neck pickup, let me go to the bridge here for a second. Let me sweep around on the tone and show you kind of what I've got here. You take it all the way back. You can kind of tame those highs if you need to. Get a little jazzy. Or you can go back up and you can get pretty bright. You can get pretty voxy sound in here, but it's kind of it's not really designed to sound like a Vox. Is it trying to be a Bogner? Is that what it is? All I know is that's a nice sound, my friend. Let's crank up the gain. So I'm going to knock the volume back so we don't like blow ourselves away here, but let's crank the gain on up. Very nice sound. You don't lose your highs. You don't lose your highs down. That was in the neck position. Let me crank it back just a little so we ain't blowing ourselves. That's pretty wicked. Neck pickup again. bring that tone back a little bit with the gain all the way up. I like that gain a lot. Killer. If I crank the gain back to something reasonable like the middle, crank the volume up, tone in the middle. That is a pretty tone, my friends. Killer. So if you hit that with something like a like I've got a tube amp modeler on the floor here by Behringer. It's a very cheap pedal, but listen to something like this. It's like it takes that digitalness of that tube modeler and it warms it up somewhat with this little Vox here. I think this might be a really cool use for this. That sounds excellent. So just so you'll know, I might need to check my tuning again. What I've got that going on there with that little modeler is I've got it in the California sound. It has different kinds of sounds, and so I'm thinking it might be sort of a Mesa Boogie kind of thing we're emulating anyway. So it's sort of like hitting it with a couple Mesa Boogie sounds. Unless they are going more for a Bogner with this. I have to say it doesn't sound Mesa Boogie-ish to me, but throwing that Mesa Boogie sound into it sounds pretty killer. I'm here to tell you that Vox makes that totally usable. Just sings, man. I also have one of the Behringer Ultra Metals here. Let me show you what that. So it's a little tight, kind of a tight distortion sound. pretty wicked. That's pretty wicked. It's a regular old tube screamer. I think that I'd rather not use a tube screamer. I think I would rather use the gain on this thing if I'm going to play that kind of overdriven sound and crank that volume back a little. That's pretty satisfying. So that is no pedals. That is just the amp itself. So fat and full. Massive. That's pretty excellent. I just hit it with a little cheap Klon Centaur clone here. This is without riff. There's a little something on it. This is a Joyo Tar and I'm playing. Without it. And with it. This is that tube model again. Too much gain. That's without anything. It's just the gain off the VOX. Pretty sweet. The VOX MV50 Boutique. And so I've not run it into a cabinet. I really don't have a cabinet that's not powered, I don't think. I'm sure I could probably run it into one of my amps. Just do the power in, and it would sound just great. Lee says it drives a cabinet just great. It's 50 watts. This little bitty thing, you can see my hand here beside it. You see how small it is? There's a guitar pick beside it. That's how little that big one is. I've not been pushing it super hard either. It's just insane. I love that gain. And you do have to crank it at pretty high. I mean, you go to 2 o'clock, you've got this a healthy little bit of crunch, and that's all you got. I mean, it stays pretty clean throughout, you know, if you're not to. Until you push it that last little bit here. And that right there is where you start to. See, that's pretty good there. That's not maybe over the top. It's a good rock sound there. That's all in the bridge pickup. That's the neck there. package. And you just push that little extra and you got that massive crunch, just that much right there. That's a wicked little beast right there. I think I might try to pick one of those up. That is a pretty sweet sound. That gives you some tube warmth, some tube smoothness, smooth kind of drive without having to use all the digital stuff, and it makes the digital stuff sound better. And the digital stuff sort of makes it sound better. Just depends on what you're throwing at it, I guess. I could do a whole lot more experimentation, but thought I definitely owed it to Lee to put this video out. Owed it to myself to check this out. That little VOX thing is a monster. That's pretty killer. Sweet. Peace to all who watch. Subscribe to the channel if you like.